That's what I'm talking about. Ash, my good friend Ash. Dude, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Like I told you just a second ago, I'm in a whirlwind because I'm at the age where I have bifocals, and they're coming next week. So I mean, you look so great, but I can't even see you. So
That's for the good.
that's for the good. No, you look amazing. What kind of shoes are those, by the way?
These are the Off-White brand shoes. My one thing I like to buy shoes for myself if I see something different, and this is one of my favorite pairs. And I thought for a favorite occasion, I need to wear that.
I mean, they look fresh. Is that the brand called Off-White?
Yeah, it's called Off-White.
Okay. See, I only wear teeny bop Converse. So, like,
I love Converse, but I don't have one. I'm looking for a good color to wear.
You know what? Instead of getting Converse, you should get PF Flyers. Because for like tall guys like us, they're really comfortable. They're a little bit more expensive, but they've got a little bit more cushion to them.
Take a look at it.
Take a look at that.
Yeah.
Take a look at that. Well, man, we're coming here today and we're talking really about, dude, first of all, let's just go back to how we met. We met on the pickleball court at Isles. You wouldn't even play with me. No. You'd play one game with me, beat me, look at me, and then be like, "There's better competition somewhere else."
No, I saw lots of potential in you. Now it's turned around. So like Tony wants to play one game. He looks at me and just waves, smiles. He said, "We'll be friends," and goes to the next court.
Man, you know what? Pickleball is the great uniter of people because for 99.9%, it doesn't matter your politics, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter really so much. You come together and you just want to hit elderly people with wiffle balls.
Yeah, and you cannot be arrested for that, so it's good.
No, it's such a great sport because it brings people together. And you and I have known each other for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
And my life's better because you're in my life. And one of the reasons that I think I'm so thankful for you is because you have gone through the process of becoming a naturalized citizen here in America. And so I have a few questions. Actually, I want to start with, can you tell me a little bit about where you were born and what life was like growing up there?
Yeah, I was born in Chennai, the southern part of India, and growing up in the 90s and without much technology, and then it was like a normal, happy life. Like I was a swimmer back then in India.
Is that why you coach swim too?
Yeah, I coach swim now in town.
Yeah.
So I used to swim, then go to school, have a bunch of friends, and it's like being home.
What's that like, having a bunch of friends? You're like my one.
It
pretty
happens
nice.
when you're young. You have more. As you grow older, that count goes down.
Yeah.
So it's like growing up, and it's just being home, and it was like happy thing and everything. But then once I got done with my undergraduate in engineering, I wanted an opportunity to go for masters. And that time coming to America, that's one thing I want to say. People who are born here and live here do not know what's the luxury of being in this country. Because as a person, we see outside the U.S. Consulate in other countries, the queue that used to stand in the 90s, people used to go at morning 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for a 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. appointment. Because back in those times, you didn't have any appointments you can book ahead of time, no internet that much available.
Yeah.
So it is you need to submit your application and go wait. I've seen people growing up when I was a kid. My dad, when he was visiting for the first time in the 90s, he used to go wait early in the morning and everything. And that time I did not know what's the big thing about America. It's a developed country and everything. But then once I went through the process, and that's when I saw whenever someone said it's a land of dreams, it's truly a land of dreams. Because coming to this country is a very big deal. Not everyone can do that.
When you're talking about it being a luxury, as I've become a little bit older, a little bit more gray in my beard, I become more critical of our country. And oftentimes when I do speak out, there is also that other part of the back of my brain saying, but I'm only able to do that because of that luxury. And so sometimes I wonder if I don't have, if I could benefit from another viewpoint on it. So,
Yeah, like that's the one thing I always tell people when they complain, like, yeah, there are like complaints about each country and every, government and all that
yeah.
stuff. But when they say, oh, this is not working, this is not how it is. And so coming from a developing country from Asia and you come and see the opportunities here and like things you get to do and experience in life, that is like something, it's still a dream for lots of people. They apply, for US, coming to US even as a tourist, it's not like, oh, I'm booking a ticket, I can come to US. No, you need to get a visa. You need to go for an interview for the visa for coming as a tourist, and you pay tons of money for the visa, and it's a big process.
Two things to that. One, I'm so thankful you said that because I think I've been very weary of capitalism, and we're a country of capitalists, and I think sometimes that has gone to the unhealthy view, the unhealthy space. And so even when you're saying it's like a land of dreams, this is important for me to hear because it still does fuel dreams, but I think there has to be boundaries on it if somehow. But secondly, you talked about like just the visa and the interview process. Talk to me about that process. Like, what does that look like? How it feel from an outsider's perspective who hasn't. I've been to one person's naturalization at the Lincoln Museum. And that was a several-year journey. It feels so harsh. What's the process to become a naturalized citizen?
So first, to become a naturalized citizen, you need to come into the country and like either through like a student visa, it's called the F1, or like a work visa or H1B, or like you can invest like anything, property or business here in the U.S. and you can come through these three ways.
Yeah.
Or like you get married to a U.S. citizen, you get like and then you move on to the green card stage. That's the permanent residency.
So the first part is applying.
Yes, the first part is apply, and then you need to be in the country. You need to be in the country at least for like few years before you get your green card, which is the permanent resident card.
For a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what like what? Like how do you feel about that after gone through it?
I would say like my time it's taken to be a citizen is very short.
Okay.
It's been like 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, 10 years is because I'm married. My wife's American. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. So it was like just very quick. Like I went from, or else I'd be still waiting on a green card. They're currently processing the applications that was in 2015 January. We're in 2026. So
that I hear that and I just feel like that's nothing but bureaucracy and that's nothing but inefficiency, and there's so many wonderful people who our country would be so much infinitely better, but that process, 10 years, that's a long time.
I would say my 10 years was
and you're saying that's short.
Yeah, that's very short. Like people here for 20 years and they're still waiting on like their green cards, and it's a very slow process.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting through a family member or like if you're investing money, that moves faster. But other than that, it's a very slow process. And there are tons of people and they can give only 1 million green card a year. That makes sense. But I feel like the efficiency of the immigration department for providing can be a much better, and they collect like lots of money for like these applications.
Oh, is it expensive?
I would say, yeah, it is kind of expensive. So in my process, when I got a green card, you have to pay for a fingerprint like analysis, one appointment, and then for your interview. And then once you get your green card, usually you are in that for 5 years before you become a citizen, before you can apply to become a citizen. But if you're married to someone American or your parents or someone is American, then you can apply for citizenship in 3 years. And in the 3 years, you need to renew your green card.
How do you feel like when you hear people say, there's a massive segment in our country that says, and these people who are coming just need to go through the process. How does that feel? How does that come across to you when you hear, the process is like 15 years, man?
Yeah, the people who ever say like, they view like an immigrant as a different person. They do not know the struggles. they think like only there's like a legal and illegal way to come to the country.
Right.
But even the legal way, it takes like a long time. It takes a very long time to be like, I know people who are like, really talented, who work hard on the work visas, but they're in constant fear, like, what's happening to the immigration rules.
Yeah.
They cannot go back home if there's like a wedding or like if someone passes away. They cannot travel because they don't have the luxury to travel because they do not know whether the immigration officer is going to be like, you're going to stop you. So, yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You come here, man, I haven't even thought about that. You come here and then like you can't go back home for 15 years because you don't know if you're going to be able to come back.
Yeah, so you can go, I wouldn't say like 15 years, you can go back, but when you're in certain situations, like waiting for your period is over, you've applied for an extension, in that waiting period, you cannot go. Whatever the dire situation is back home, you cannot go. When I applied for my green card, like my grandfather passed away, I couldn't go. Like I had like certain people I wanted to go and visit, but I couldn't. So, but that's what comes with, wanting to be in this country. That is why I always say it's like not an easy thing coming into America and being here.
And there's so we play pickleball with a lot of H-1B1, is that?
Yes.
Yes. And that means they're here on work visas.
Yes, they're work visas.
Okay. But then to get a green card, it's a whole nother process. So you applied, then you got your green card. What comes after that in your story?
After the green card, like I had to be on green card for 3 years, and then I got to apply for. Then it's an option whether you want to stay in your green card to hold your home country citizenship, or do you want to become an American citizen. The only difference between green card and citizen is you can vote.
Okay.
So, and like, I think you get Social Security once you're older. Okay. But other than that, that's the two differences.
What was it like when you got did you get a passport?
Yes, I got a passport.
I'm sure you didn't get it the day you were naturalized in the ceremony. Was it afterwards?
Yeah, it took like a month to get the passport.
It took a month afterwards. What was that moment like when you became a naturalized citizen?
That was a very special moment for me. Mm-hmm. And for me, I got an opportunity to be like naturalized with 200 other people.
Yeah.
And the governor of Illinois was there. And
Pritzker came.
Yeah, it was like they combined lots of people. It was during the state fair.
Yeah.
So we did in the state fair. And seeing like, other people from so many different countries, some of the countries I didn't even know their names, and seeing all those people come with all the dreams to be in the U.S. and improve their lives, that was a very special moment for me. And I would say that's one of like a very important days in my life.
I would hope it would be in the top 5, right? Like,
yes.
How does it hit you though when you hear so many people so negative towards immigration and immigrants, and like, because there's there's a big faction of our country that's just racist. I mean, there's racist and there's this xenophobic.
Yeah, like that's something every immigrant faces in some way or the other.
Yeah.
The way they see us, from a skin color, from the way we talk and everything, and they do not know the difference. And I've had people here in town. One time there was something, and like in a bar, he came up to me and said, "Did you come into the country legally? Did you bomb someplace here?" He came and asked that to me.
Somebody asked you that?
Yeah, somebody asked me that. Me and my family were there for dinner, and I think there was something happening in St. Louis, or it was a few years ago. He just came, "I hope you guys did not bomb someplace and come here." And so in that situation, to have a conversation, for me, I was not a citizen. For me, the first thing that comes to mind, anything that happens to an immigrant, is I'm on an immigration visa. So I can't react to anything to even have a conversation or,
Man, humanity can just stink sometimes. I mean, and I'm very censoring my words. Humanity can just absolutely, it can be the worst sometimes. It can be the best because I hear your genuine heart and I hear this optimism, and then for somebody to come up to you because you're an immigrant and say, "Did you bomb the place where you came from so you got here?" Like, that has, like, the level of depravity that person holds in that moment is just, that's unreal.
Yeah, like even now, like
that makes my blood boil, actually.
Yeah, but it's just that, after a while you get used to it, you pick your fight. Like, do I need to respond to these things?
See, that's the problem though. After a while, you get used to it.
Yeah.
That's where like there is something within me that I come out swinging with that because like you shouldn't have to be normalized to that.
Yeah, but if I react, the way
Yeah.
I want to react, but if
Yeah.
I do, I'd get termed saying that, even now I'm a citizen,
Yeah.
I have the proof, but a person who doesn't know me won't know that. They might think I'm coming into this country illegally, or they do not know what struggles everyone. It's not only me, anyone who's
Yeah.
an immigrant who's come to this country, and they all go through all of this. And some people decide to, talk and tell the community and the thing this is happening. And when you see things happening, racism in this country for a long period of time based on skin color and everything, it's like you need to know which one to react or which
one to let go.
Yeah, let go.
That's a thread in this story that people who have gone through the immigration process, the self-discipline and the self-restraint that they hold for years. I don't think I've ever actually heard that story before. Like, heard that from someone. I hope more than my mom watches this one because that's really important as the conversation for immigration in our country. I still don't understand why it's got to be so long. Like, how do you react? And I'm not trying to pigeonhole you, but how do you react when you hear our president say, well, if you just give $1 million, you get fast tracked?
So it's like,
And you can pass on that too. If you're like, hey, I don't want to get into that.
No. It's like people who have money can do whatever they want.
Yeah, that's
it's like someone like working their way up like all those 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And doing that, and someone who has money just decides to drop $1 million and get a visa or like a green card. It's like, but each one has their view, and the government has like investments coming into the country. I see it that way. But
I do too. I love that. Is that a phrase you just came up with, or
Yeah.
is that you said immigration is the government has investments coming into the country?
Yeah, because
That's pretty brilliant. You just came up with that
Yes.
in this chair.
Yeah, it just
Wow.
came to me. It just came to me.
That's really great.
Yeah, and it's like if you see in the U.S., if I'm not wrong, the immigrants are kind of the backbone of development in this country,
100%.
and they keep pushing the country forward and helping it at all times. But are they given an equal chance? No, I wouldn't say like every immigrant gets an equal chance to do that. So
Why do you say that?
because so nowadays, if like for job applications and stuff, the first thing they say is like, are you like an immigrant? Do you need like a sponsorship?
They ask you that in a job application?
Yeah, every job application has like, do you need like a sponsorship for a visa, or like, or can you do it without that? So
Are those state jobs or like
no
secular jobs?
everything.
I say secular or private industry.
Jobs. So so even state jobs has that, and like for me right now, if I'm applying for a state job or like even a federal job, I understand for federal job for security purposes, and
Yeah,
I think I
understand
understand
that.
that. But for even a private job, saying that you need to be not an immigrant, but like have the green card or a thing. So it's like, okay, I can afford it. I can do it.
Yeah.
I have an opportunity to compete with other people. What about someone who's really talented and would be a great fit for the job, the company, and everything? He cannot apply because it's of the rules. And they came up with a rule last year. I do not know whether you know about that. So for the H-1B work visas, the government announced like overnight that within a couple of days, whoever is like newly applying H-1Bs, they have to be paying like $100,000. The company has to be paying for them to show that this is a real talent, and we need to have them in the U.S. for this. If you're not able to pay that much money, you're not like justifying the talent, so they don't need to be here.
Oh man, I again, there's that blood boiling moment of they don't need to be here. Like, yeah. You're a Christian, correct?
I believe in everything.
You believe in everything. How does this shape your image of God then? Because like even as you're sitting here, I got to be honest. There's been 2 or 3 moments where my blood boiled, not at Ash, but just at the situation and the harshness of the situation and the idiocracy of the situation. And I wonder over a decade of time what that does to the soul. And then because however it shapes our soul, it shapes our world. So in our understanding of the eternal.
I would say there were like testing times for me, like during COVID and stuff like that, when the immigration was slowed down.
Yeah, it probably stopped.
Yeah, stopped and stuff. And my H-1B was approved the day before lockdown happened. Just the day, 24 hours before the lockdown happened.
Wow.
So a few weeks before that, for me, it is like the faith part.
Yeah.
It's a big long waiting game, as I said, and it's faith. You run on faith for the 10 years, 15 years. You're doing that. But sometimes, you question it, like, is it worth it? And is really, like, God is helping me or testing times? And then I talk to, like, people of faith, like my wife, you. And you guys, remind that this testing times is for better things. And, like, any religion, any God. So that restores, like, a faith saying that, okay.
Yeah, that I feel like there's so many there would be so many soul searching moments in that process of not hearing and then people attacking you, just being crazy, and that's got to shape you profoundly.
Yeah, I've seen like people leave because they don't want to. They've been here for a long period of time, and that uncertainty, that's the word, like, I want to use, being uncertain. And when you have kids born here, and
oh my goodness,
they are a citizen. Your kid is a citizen born in this country, and you are not sure. And kids growing up here, they have a different education system and everything. And sometimes when things don't work out for the parents, they need to go back to India or like any other country, their home country. And that takes a toll on the kid as well. Not only the parents, as a family, they go through so much. So that uncertainty and the waiting, so each person goes through a lot. And that's why staying in this country, that opportunity is always, it's a dream.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
I love that you've said the dream. I love that. And then the immigrants are an investment in the future. And I love that because there are some people that say it's a drain in the future. And that's just, that's crazy talk. I mean, that's just crazy talk.
Yeah. Each person has their view.
Yeah.
And
they're wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, like each person has a view, and some people are wrong. Like they don't know the struggle of the other person who they're talking about or pointing fingers. But those immigrants and people who just keep like struggling and keep going in spite of all this, that's what's good.
So you came from India, Chennai, India. My nickname for you is the Chennai Sequoian because you're so tall. But like, so you're from India. You came here after college. Yeah. Spent the next several years. You got married. What was the hardest? What's something you miss about India? Like when we had a friend come on and he said, I asked him something about India and he said, you know what I miss about India is the noise or the chaos. It was the chaos. I thought, wow, that's a really interesting thing to say. But then Nithal, do you know Nithram or Nithal? He watched it and see, you still play at Premier. I play at the lowbrow racket club now. But I play with him and he was like, that was spot on.
So like the noise and everything. But for me, India, the closeness with the people. I can stop anyone on the street and say like, where do I go? Do you know this address? And they just point me. I can stop, I can talk to anyone. And like neighbors, like they're more like family, and it's the closeness. Here in this country, I feel like it's, if you know them for a few years, they help you. I cannot stop a random person on the trail and say, do you know how can I go? The person doesn't want to stop. And being brown, they don't even want to talk to me. So
I understand. Yeah. So that's happened to me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel that part is like missing. I always miss that part, but luckily I've been blessed with like friendly people who like, talk and make me feel home. But that's one thing I miss.
You miss the congeniality of people. Yeah. Midwest. I don't know if it's a Midwest thing, but man, Midwest people, there can be a harshness to it, or it's not even a harshness. It's just straight faced, like, do you like me or hate me? Because I'm not sure in this moment.
That's a question I asked my wife. She's also from Midwest.
So what have you appreciated most about like America? Like, what's the thing where you're like, yeah, I get it, it's a dream, but like, okay, this quality, this part of life, this is the thing that I keep coming back to that I love.
Some of the things I've noticed is one thing that comes to top of my mind is like the way this country treats their veterans. Like,
You think that's a good thing? I would say we don't do a good job.
I would say that's better than lots of like Asian countries, what they're doing, and like the opportunities and like educational opportunities, all that you guys get.
What a world perspective, because I would say we just drop our veterans off. Like we do not do a good service to them.
Yeah,
and that's interesting. A global perspective, you're saying we actually do a lot better than.
So that's what like you move from one place, you go, and then you'll see the difference. Like, okay, this is like way better than what we are seeing, or like this is so different. So one of the things was that, and like education. I'd say like the education.
Yeah.
It's like more practical knowledge of what you do and apply in the world. That's like really good. And another thing is. Most of the people learn like life skills as they grow up.
Yeah.
I did not get that opportunity to learn lots of life skills. I didn't do any plumbing or like any like electrical things till I came home. My wife had to teach me, and every time she said like American men know how to do this.
What?
And I said, and I have to remind, I'm not American.
That's so funny.
Even though I became a citizen, I said I'm still not American, only by paper.
You had to learn. She had to teach you how to mow the yard, right, and work a lawnmower, right?
Yeah, she had to teach me, and then like then she said, "You just do the backyard. That people don't see that."
No!
Like the lines are so bad, and she does the front yard. She does a better job, so I let her do that.
Even still?
No, now we both gave up. We said like let's have someone else do it.
Oh no! Oh man, well. Bro, you said the lines are all squiggly. I mean, it's just walking. Like once you start the thing, it's just walking back and forth.
Yeah, but the property goes like all the way down, and it goes. So I'm bad.
So
in
there's like a slant, so you just have to walk up and down.
Yeah, and I'm bad at geometry, so I don't keep my line straight and stuff.
You're
like
an engineer. Oh yeah, I guess that's two different things. Huh?
Yeah, so like I don't do that. And even if I do it, I learn from the backyard, not in the front yard.
Okay. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. What's like the biggest cultural adjustment you've had to make?
Cultural adjustment is lots. I'm not able to think of one thing. Lots of things like the way we talk to people.
Yeah.
You cannot talk too loud. You cannot, like here, like, people don't like to talk too loud. And
is it loud in India? Well, I guess that's what.
Yeah, I can make lots of noise in India. And like people will be like, oh, that's someone like, we have like vegetable vendors going on the streets yelling, I have carrot, apple, everything. He'll be yelling. And we'll know, okay, the vegetable vendor has that, let's go buy it. We never said like, oh, if I do it here, it's like, okay, I have someone walking on the road and yelling. Can you see it's a nuisance? So,
okay, you're out there yelling on the street. Okay.
Yeah, and even the driving and stuff, like the following of rules, that is my favorite part. Like
you like the rules?
Yeah, I like the rules with the drive. Like I love rules in certain things, and like the driving part, I love it. Stay in your lane and signal. Where I grew up, it's like we always call it like survival of the fittest. You don't know who's going to come into your lane, and there's no. It's like a bicyclist would come, a two-wheeler, and someone walking, then be a cow, a dog, everything on the same street traveling, and you still go back home safe. So that's a survival of the fittest.
That's kind of like Mexico. Have you ever been to Mexico?
No, I grew up in India, so I think it'll be similar.
It is very similar. It is especially those border towns. It is very similar to that. This is an important question. I really want to know. What do you hope someone gets from your story? Like, what do you hope the takeaway is from your story?
I just say like that hope, like every immigrant who comes into this country with that hope that, I will stay here, my life would become better, and I'll take care of my family's life back home. And I'd say like I never gave up on that hope, that even the waiting period, lots of people who have been longer do not. I would always say that hope and faith that things would change around. Like that's what I want anyone to take over. Like be it an immigrant or not an immigrant, that hope and that waiting for a better future.
Yeah.
Always like it'll happen any moment. But you need to keep going on with that hope. It's going to happen. It's going to turn around your life, and like having that faith that I'm heading to a good future.
Keep the hope. Keep trucking on.
Yeah.
I think I would be irresponsible if I didn't ask this, and you can just say pass if you'd like. How do you feel about seeing what's going on with ICE in our country? And you feel free to say, I just don't want to get into that.
No. I don't like now. I'm a citizen, so I can talk. I have freedom of speech.
Okay.
So, see, with the ICE and stuff happening, even I'm a citizen. I go to a bigger city. I carry my passport as a proof that I am a legal citizen here, and I can get stopped. Like I can get stopped anywhere because the way I look and things. And most of the citizens, they carry some form of proof, because that fear, there will always be a fear, like the way you're judged. This country has seen racism for different skin tones and colors over the years. 250 years.
Some say longer. Yeah.
And it is always going to be that fear, being whether you're naturalized, you're a thing, but that fear of because the fear is like, will I get sent out of the country? That is that is a fear that not anyone should have.
Absolutely. Do you think that people who are, do you feel like that's for everybody? They should not have that fear that they're going to get driven out?
I think it's for people who come in legally and who go through the system and all the process and pay their dues and they're there. They shouldn't be having that fear. And if you're coming the wrong way, illegally into the country, that's a mistake. And every mistake, you have to repent for that. So those people, I understand, it's wrong. And but that fear shouldn't be there. And long, I said 250 years. I think even before there was no immigration, there's anyone could go to any country and, they had that freedom and to be that. That is the thing that, right now the world needs, everyone to coexist. You see things happening in other countries, the war and here the immigration and, it's going in that's not how the world should be. Friendly and adjust with everyone and have everyone. That's the thing it needs to be.
Yeah, it feels like the immigration that's happening with this current administration is targeting just because people are not white. That's just it feels like they just want to make the country wider, and any kind of outside culture is seen as the antithesis. And so, because you look at some of these guys, pastors in the administration, and it's pretty scary what they're talking about. So
yeah, I always some people relate God, Christianity, and say with the current government, they say this is what's the God's way, they're following it.
Yeah.
And thing. For a person who doesn't know about any of this, the first thing that comes is why is the president being related to God and put in the same thing? And if that's what God's doing,
wild.
I'm not going to believe in that God. You see how the faith gets moon, and we know people doing that. And I, for instance, even I had that feeling. Whatever it is, the president, he's a human, and. But you cannot put it the God and put as okay, this is the religion you want to associate. So,
well, man, I'm so thankful that you dropped by. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I've been watching the cast and all the videos and the people coming on here, and each one carries a different message, both for the community and for overall about the country and everything. And it's been really interesting. And seeing you start this and talk about this in the beginning, and see you do that, and the people who have been here, it's been really inspiring. And if I ever do something like this, I'll be I'll definitely say it was from Tony Stang. That's how it started.
You know what? It comes from everybody. So everybody in Springfield. This isn't about trying to become famous. This is about telling the story of people here in this city and everybody's so unique and everybody's so different, and they carry a story. And it's kind of like Humans of New York meets Louis Theroux. You know who Louis Theroux is? You do know him? Yeah. He would just like do these deep dives in people, and I don't get to go into their world, but I do get to sit with them, and it's kind of like that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a really great thing, and I hope you keep continuing, and we hear more voices of different people in the community through you.
Oh man, dude, you are man, I so appreciate you. You have talked me down from some very tense moments in pickleball when I got upset at myself and probably spilled out to other people too. But man, I so appreciate you. Thank you for being my friend, bro.
Thank you. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.